Go ahead and kind of talk you through each one of these. We're going to start with niche, and of course niche encompasses quite a number of different things. It's not just as easy as just saying, oh, I'm going to go into this niche or that niche. Now, we make some recommendations for you guys. I'm going to show you some resources and exactly where you can find and get your brain kind of going. I think one of the biggest things I see with people that they struggle with is if I don't tell them specifically, you need to go into this niche, they second guess themselves. They're not sure. Are they picking the right niche? Are they picking the wrong niche? And guys, there isn't a perfect way to tell you, you have to go into this niche or you don't go into this niche. There's just elements, and I'm going to teach you those elements. Most of those elements are in this top section here. Okay, so we got niche, we got market population size, we got phone driven or walk-in, and does your state, county, country require a license for this niche? Okay, these are the first things I want to look at. But we can start by just looking and getting our brain going, right? Because we got to start somewhere. So I give you guys some examples of check out Thumbtack, check out your yellow pages. I actually like the physical yellow pages. Check out coupon clippers. These are the things that come in the mail that you get. These all give you great memory jogging ideas, and then you can kind of go through and check the rest of the stuff off the list if it falls into those categories, okay? Home Advisor, Angie's List. I mean, honestly, Thumbtack, Home Advisors, and Angie's List alone could give you just tons of ideas. So let's go over to Thumbtack and check this out. So I want you to go to thumbtack.com, and at the time of making this video, if you scroll to the very, 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 very bottom, you're going to see services near me. Go ahead and click on that. And then what's going to come up is it's going to bring you up some different types of services. Home improvement services, pet services, you guys can read. So let's just say I go, well, I want to know some event services, just for the sake of this. What you'll see here is you're going to see a list of niches. Crazy list. They've done all the work for you guys. This is the best part. This company has had millions and millions and millions, hundreds of millions of dollars in funding to do all this research for you. So there's a niche list right there for you. Start there. Okay? Let's go back. Let's look what else they got. So that was just one category of niches. Personal services. Okay? Nothing. They're not showing any right there. Maybe that's a place that they've stayed out of. Okay? Lesson services. Okay? Again, tons. Doesn't mean they're great. It gives you the memory jogger that I think most people lack. Everyone always gravitates to the same 3 or 4 niches. Plastic surgeon, plumber, roofer, electrician. I mean, every time, okay? Business services. Same thing, guys. There's no shortage of businesses out there. We have so many to work with. And I know sometimes it can be daunting, but it's a good place to start. So you guys get the point. This is a great little place to kind of get your memory jogged and start writing some ideas down. Then let's move over to Home Advisor. This is a lead source company. They generate leads. So again, they've done the research. Gives you some different categories, okay? Now the thing with Home Advisor, some of these might be licensed trades. So you just got to be careful with that and make sure you check with your state, city, country laws on do you need a license number. If you do, doesn't mean you're dead in the water. Just means that you might actually have to have the business owner agree to leads first before building the project out. Not a big deal. Done this many, many times. Totally nothing wrong with that, okay? But you'd have to have their prior approval so you can display their license number on your lead gen sites, okay? So that gives you some ideas. And then we can go over to Angie's List. And here's the actual URL, angieslist.com/company lists. And you can actually click on their categories. So you can go through and kind of get different category ideas and then kind of take it from there. Okay? So pretty simple. Those are just a few places to jog your memory. Like I do say, the riches are in the obscure niches. So it's not always the plumbers, electricians, or roofers that everyone seems to gravitate to. There's a lot of great niches that no one's ever given any attention to, okay? So be willing to go down and do some research, okay? Remember, on average, these lead gen sites you put up could be bringing you in $500, $750, $1,000, $2,000 a month. Over the course of a year, if we just take the average of $750, that's a $9,000 a year income, okay? And I believe too often we are moving at such a rapid speed to try to get something up that we don't do any sort of research. Research, guys. Go read a little bit about the company or the industry that you're going into. Be willing to call someone, maybe a town or two over, and say, hey, can you, I'm thinking about getting into this business. I will not be a direct competitor. I'm 5 cities over. I'm 5 states over. Can I buy, 30 minutes of your time for, whatever, and interview you about this? These are the types of things that either make you great or make you kind of a unprofessional amateur in this space. Are you willing to spend the time, the research, and the energy to learn everything you need to know about the niche before jumping into it? Okay, what about chimneys and fireplaces? What are the things I should know? What are the things I shouldn't know? Where do the main customers come from? What's the average ticket of the customer? These are the types of things that I'd want to know before just jumping in, knowing that I can make $9,000 to $25,000 a year from just this one project. That's pretty exciting stuff. But oftentimes we try to speed through this stuff. So in your niche selection, I want you to take some time and I want you to go through this stuff. I want you to look at different ideas, okay? And then I want to move down the list here, okay? I want you to go to market population and size. So let's just, for example, if I said El Dorado Hills, California, I just add population to that, okay? 42,000 people in El Dorado Hills, California, okay? So it falls a little bit short, but that doesn't mean I can't go into it. That just is what it says, okay? Now, some of you guys might live in counties, right? Over in like New Jersey and out east, a lot of counties, or in different parts of the country or different parts of the world, it might be a little bit different. Guys, don't just say, oh, well, it doesn't fit this, so I can't do this. Just understand that this is kind of the recommended, but there's a lot of gray area. Guys, leads are leads. Humans are humans. The biggest thing I want you guys to understand is if I say, if you went into, Dan, can I go into a 35,000 person market? Sure you can. Okay. But in a 350,000, there's 10 times more buyers. So there's probably going to be 10 times more leads for every industry and niche. So just keep that in the back of your brain. Math is math is math. Now, phone driven or walk-in. This is a big one, guys. Specifically for lead gen, when you're doing, building a lead gen property online or properties online like we're going to teach you in the next steps, I don't want you guys going into walk-in because it's a slightly different process. A walk-in type business is going to be probably more of an upfront contract that you do with the business owner, and you're going to build lead gen properties, but you're going to use their address. You're not going to use an address that you use for your virtual business, okay? So I want you guys to ask yourself, is it phone driven? What does phone driven? Well, a carpet cleaner. Do you go to the carpet cleaner's store to get them to come clean your carpets? No. You call. It's phone driven. Now, window tint, okay? I owned a window tint shop. Do you physically walk into a window tint shop? Do you have to drive to the physical location? Yes. Okay, that's a walk-in. Okay, so ask yourself the question, is the niche that I'm thinking about, is it phone-driven or walk-in? We want you doing, for lead gen, we want you doing phone-driven unless you have an upfront deal with a business owner and you can do some more SEO as a service / lead gen properties, which is more advanced stuff, and we'll teach you guys in later trainings once you've been through and you learn this entire process. And then last but not least, does your state, city, county, country, wherever you're at in the world, we have people everywhere, and every place is a little bit different. Do they require a license for this niche? This is very simple to look up. You're just going to look at your state site. If you need to call in to your state or your city, just look up the information online. You can do a quick Google search. So state of California as an example. You go to their ca.gov and you can start looking through the information on every site, every city, every state. It's going to have a different site, but this is where you'll get started. Your state always has the information on what is a licensed trade and what isn't. And you just need to go through some basic search queries, and you need to see. Generally, in any sort of the construction niches, you need some sort of a license number on your site. So you might have to have the business owner upfront agree to it, and allow you to use that license number. Same thing can be true in some transportation niches. I know in the taxi space in Oregon, you'd had to have a license number on the site. It had to be a licensed taxi company. I know the same thing is true with other transportation niches in some other cities and states. So all I would tell you is you need to do that research first, because the process will differ. You cannot go and advertise a licensed trade, because you can get in trouble for it if the state wants to come after you and they can give you a fine. And sometimes that fine is a hefty fine. And so you don't want to go down that path, okay? With that being said, on your due diligence, those are the top 4 in this first video that we're covering. So now you have a better idea of where you can get ideas for niches, okay? What the market population size recommendations we give you doesn't mean it's set in stone. I just want you to fill it in. If it's bigger than that, if you went to 550,000, just type that in. Okay, is it phone driven or walk-in? So it's phone driven. Yes, phone driven. You can put that in there. Okay, and then you put your niche there. And answer hopefully is no. And if it's yes, then you make sure you need to have that on your site, and you have that agreement in place prior to going live with your site, based on the city and state and country you're in. Okay, and then so in the next videos we'll start moving into these questions, and we'll show you what you need to learn about those.